Hello there, men, and welcome to the Masculinism Movement channel, a place for men to be men and talk about masculinity and men's issues. I'm your host, Brian Kroll, and today I'm going to be mansplaining to you about the meaning of life and identity and self-actualization. And this is part 4 in a series on the topic of the meaning of life. And so if you haven't seen the other 3 parts, check them out linked below. For those of you who are ready to deal with the final and most ultimate topics in the series, what we're going to be doing here is kind of like the last episode, where I'm going to be breaking down the concept of self-actualization and identity work and delineating it into 3 distinctly different levels of the process of self-actualizing. And so starting with number 1, the first level of self-actualization is what I call finding the self. This first phase of personal development is the foundation for the other 2 phases, which is why I've already actually begun teaching it to you in the other 2 episodes. You've already begun the process of finding the self by doing the work that we've already been doing. But now we need to continue it with more of a focus on your identity and your sense of being a self and who you really are as a person. Discovering your true self and becoming more authentically you is where self-actualization starts. And why the next video I'm going to be doing is going to be all about self-analysis, which will also help, so stay tuned for that. But now when it comes to finding the self, one of the things that the entire self-help community gets wrong, probably because they are mostly made up of women and very feminine men, is that self-actualization and identity are all about self-acceptance, when in actuality, that is just the first step in self-development. All right. From self-acceptance, you can then go on to self-actualization, or in other words, becoming your ideal self, when you have the addition of self-improvement. But it is important to balance self-acceptance with the right amount of self-improvement as well. To accept things about yourself that you cannot change or don't want to change, but to change things that you want or may need to change. Doing things such as turning faults and flaws and things that are problematic for you into things that are not and have been perfected in whatever way. Doing things such as turning weaknesses into strengths, for instance. And in order to do that, you need to figure out what these things are about yourself. And one of the very helpful ways of doing this is by doing what is called a SWOT analysis, which is one of the things I'm going to be doing for you in the next video on self-analysis. So you can look forward to that next, but otherwise let's move on to step 2, which is becoming your ideal self. Once we've figured out who we really are and what we're all about, then we need to figure out what our ideal self would look and be like. This is where you decide what you want to develop yourself into and become as a person. This phase of personal development only focuses on the development of us as a person and character, not our lifestyle, which we'll deal with in the next phase. It is here where you can close your eyes and imagine your dream self, what they would look like, what they would act like, how you would feel as this person. This is you at your happiest, your most empowered, most confident, strongest, most fit and physically healthy, most powerful in every way, most attractive, perhaps even wealthiest, or at least most successful, most charismatic, best dressed, most affluent, and with having everything about you that is important to you idealized in every way. You must assign a definitive identity to your ideal self, and it helps to make a list of the character traits and qualities that you want to develop and the strengths you want to build and who specifically it really is that you want to become. Then once you know the ways in which you can be the best that you can be, as they say here in America, you can begin to systematically step into that identity and become your ideal self using personal development practices and building yourself up to that one layer at a time. This is where the actual personal development work gets done, cultivating your character and who you are so that you can become the best version of yourself. And then once you've made some headway doing that, you can move on to the final level, number 3, which is developing your dream life. This is where you take the personal development work you have done and are continuing to do on yourself, but you begin to apply it more to your lifestyle and not just your character and identity. For once you are developing yourself to be the best you can be, then you can really begin to live your dream lifestyle. So you must think about what your dream life consists of and write down a list of things that you want out of your life and all of the ways in which you want to live most ideally. This is perhaps the best part and most fun of all the personal development work. This is where you get to decide what it is your dreams are in life and to then actualize them. But this shouldn't just be a list of, like, for instance, the material goods that you want to collect. All right, ask yourself these questions and write down the answers. How do you want to live? Do you want to have some sort of grand career scheme? Is there some specific state or lifestyle that you want to live in that will make you happy? Do you want to find love and perhaps start a family? Or do you want to live as a lone wolf and have your home be an extension of your personality only? And how can your home and your personal space be the best extension and expression of who you are as a person and how you want to live? Do you want to live in some ideal or idyllic location? Are there amenities you have always dreamed of having in your home? Or is your home not even the most important place for you in life? Do you want to travel and go on adventures in the world? Are there any amazing things you want to do? Any activities that are very important to you? Any goals or bucket list items that you'd like to accomplish? Write down everything that you want out of life. It is important to know what we want our life to be and what we want to do with it. Because as you engage in this personal development work and become your best self, you can really begin to live your best life and effectuate all of your wildest dreams. So if you have not dreamed them yet, do so now. Figure out what you want in life and you'll be able to get it through this systematic personal development work called Logotherapy. That concludes this video. Thanks for listening. I hope I mansplained that good enough for you. If you like what you heard, please click the like button. And if you feel you gained some value from this video and would like to give some back, please do so with the PayPal link below, because your support helps fund me doing this work and fight the good fight for men like you. If you are ready to take the red pill and wake up from the matrix, well then, I have the perfect book for you. The Bible of Esoteric Knowledge is a super concise, dense, info-packed philosophy textbook written in the same verse format as the Bible, but combining multiple different highly esoteric philosophies such as Taoism, Hinduism, Buddhism, shamanism, ancient paganism, and a special balance between theoretical physics and metaphysics, along with some special bonus info on the cryptic secrets of sexuality and death. This book will stimulate your intellectual philosopher's mind like no other, especially since it's a lot shorter and easier to read than most philosophy books made up entirely of run-on sentences and never-ending paragraphs, and, can be quite boring and exhaustive. Full of all the most fascinating mystical secrets of the universe, gratify your inner geek and quench your thirst for meaning with the Bible of Esoteric Knowledge. Get your copy at the link below for a special sale price today. Enlightenment has never been so easy.